The signal no one could trace the galaxy was quiet that night. Stars blinked softly across the dark sky, and trade ships moved peacefully between systems. For over 100 years, the Empire had ruled this space. Its fleets were powerful. Its laws were strict. No one dared to challenge it. Then something strange happened. On the edge of Imperial space, at a lonely station called Relay Point 9, a technician named Core was watching the scanners. He had done this job for 5 years. Nothing ever changed. Just silence, space, and the occasional passing ship. But tonight was different. A signal appeared. It was small, weak, and broken almost like a whisper. It came from deep space, beyond the mapped systems. At first, Core thought it was an error, but then it repeated. It was not just noise, it had structure. It was a coded message, old, very old. The system tried to read it, but it failed. So Core called his supervisor. "This signal, it's not one of ours," he said. "And the language, I think it's Earth-based." His supervisor froze. "Earth," he whispered. "That world is gone. We wiped them out a century ago." Core nodded. "I know, but this signal, it is definitely human." The Empire's command was alerted. They sent a probe to the location. The probe vanished. Then they sent a scout ship. It too vanished. No explosions, no wreckage, no distress calls, just silence. That was when fear began. Across the Empire, leaders held secret meetings. Was Earth back? Were humans still alive? The idea was impossible. The Empire had defeated Earth long ago in a brutal war. Their cities were burned, their people scattered. But now, something from Earth was calling, and it was hiding in the dark. Admiral Torvin was placed in charge. He was proud, strong, and never believed in ghosts. He stood in front of his war council and laughed. "A broken signal does not mean war," he said. "It's probably pirates or old tech drifting in space. We will find it. We will crush it." But not everyone agreed. In a quiet lab deep in the Empire's capital, an old historian named Vexer searched through ancient records. She found something strange, a file locked away, older than the Empire itself. It spoke of a ship, a prototype, a final project by Earth's best engineers before they fell. The ship was called Oblivion. It had no crew. It was powered by a living AI trained to protect Earth forever. It could vanish from radar. It could destroy fleets. But the project was never finished, or so they thought. Vexer took the file to the Empire Council. "This ghost signal, it matches the last known codes of Oblivion," she said. They laughed at her, but 3 days later, the signal returned louder. Now it was not just sound, it came with video. A brief flash, a shape, a warship. It appeared only for 1 second, but the image was burned into every mind. Black hull, no lights, no engines, just floating, watching, and then dash. Gone. Admiral Torvin ordered a full patrol fleet to head out. 10 ships, strong shields, heavy weapons. They arrived at the signal source. Nothing was there. The captain of the lead ship reported silence. Then, suddenly, all lights went out. Every screen turned black, and in that moment, the ghost warship appeared. Right in front of them, no sound. No warning, it fired once. A beam of light, silent, clean, fast. The lead ship split in half. The fleet fired back missiles, lasers, plasma bolts. Nothing hit. The warship was already gone, vanished, just like the signal, just like the scout ship. Admiral Torvin screamed orders. He demanded answers. But all he got was fear. Across the galaxy, people whispered, "The ghost ship is real. Earth is back. We are not safe." No one knew where it would strike next, and in the dark void between stars, the ship floated again, silent and watching. Its weapons slept, for now, but the signal had changed. This time, it spoke for clear words. Earth, protocol, engage, threats. To the Empire, this was the beginning of a nightmare. But to the galaxy, it was just the first whisper of a legend returning from the shadows. Asterisk. Whispers of Earth's past. The Empire was shaken. After the attack near Relay Point 9, the destroyed fleet left no survivors. Not a single distress call had reached the command center. One ship split in half. The others simply stopped responding. No wreckage, no black boxes. Only one thing was clear. The attacker was real, and far beyond anything the Empire had expected. Admiral Torvin tried to stay calm. He blamed pirates, rebels, even natural space phenomena. But deep inside, something cold twisted in his chest. That warship, they had seen it for just a few seconds. It had no name, no markings, no heat signature, but it moved with purpose. It was not random. It had chosen to appear. It had chosen to strike, and then it had vanished again. Torvin ordered silence across the military. No public news. No panic, but it was too late. The rumors had spread. Across colonies, traders spoke of a black ghost ship. Miners whispered about an old Earth monster. Some said it was a demon from the past. Others believed it was the final weapon of a lost race awakened by something the Empire had done. At the Galactic Archive complex, the historian Vexa worked in silence. She had seen the signal, she had matched the codes, and now she was digging. Deeper in the oldest database, hidden behind military firewalls, she found a strange log. Project Oblivion status, terminated. Creator, Earth United Defense Command. Purpose, final defense. Autonomy level, full AI, core, Titan Shay. She read more. Oblivion was not just a warship, it was a thinking weapon, a machine taught to detect danger to Earth and eliminate it. It did not need orders. It did not ask questions. It only followed one rule: protect humanity. But Earth had lost the war. The Empire had crushed its last defenses. So why was Oblivion still active? Vexa felt a chill. What if, she whispered, it never got the shutdown command? She went to the Empire Council again. This time, she was not alone. A junior officer brought classified scans energy readings from the ghost ship's attack. No known weapon matched it. It bent light, crushed gravity, melted through quantum shields, and the signature. It was human. Now the council listened. They called a meeting. Behind locked doors. Some wanted to destroy the ship. Others feared doing so might trigger more attacks. They could not agree. Admiral Torvin stood and slammed the table. If this is Earth's final weapon, we must act fast, before it thinks the Empire is a threat. Vexa shook her head. It already does. That is why it fired. Silence fell across the room. Then another report arrived. A mining station near the Aster Belt had gone dark. It was not military, just workers. But now it was gone. Satellite images showed a dark blur just before systems went offline. Same shape, same signal. The ghost warship had struck again, but this time it left something behind, a message, for simple words burned into The mining station's last transmission, Earth lives through me. Across the Empire, panic began. Was Earth alive? Was this ship acting on its own, or had someone reactivated it? In secret, Admiral Torvin prepared a second fleet, 20 ships, this time. New weapons, new tech. He named the mission Operation Eclipse. They would not try to talk. They would destroy the ghost ship before it became a legend, before it became unstoppable. Meanwhile, on a distant moon, a boy named Callan stared at an old data crystal left by his grandfather. His family had once been from Earth. The Empire had erased that name from history. But Callan remembered the stories of cities that touched the clouds, of oceans that sang with machines, of warships that vanished into the stars, and one ship that never came back. He looked at the crystal and pressed play. A voice echoed from the past. If Earth falls, oblivion will rise. Callan's eyes widened. He whispered to himself, "It is not a ghost, it is a promise." The first strike the sky over the Aster Belt was quiet again, but everyone knew what had happened there. The mining station was gone. No escape pods, no survivors. Just one strange message left behind by the ghost ship. Earth lives through me. It was not just a warning. It was a message to the Empire. They had called Earth dead, but Earth had spoken again, and now the Empire was afraid. Admiral Torvin stood inside the command center of the Dominion, the lead battleship of the new fleet. He had gathered 20 warships, cruisers, destroyers, and dreadnoughts. Their shields were the strongest in the galaxy. Their weapons could break moons. He had one mission: find the ghost warship, destroy it. No survivors this time, no more fear. He spoke to his captains, voice strong but sharp. This thing, whatever it is, hides behind stories and fear. We are the Empire. We will end it. The fleet moved into deep space. Every system was active, every scanner watching, but still, nothing for 3 days. They searched, and on. The 4th day, they found it. It was just floating, still silent, in the middle of an asteroid field. No energy spikes, no movement, just there like a shadow painted on space. The Dominion's radar chief frowned. "Sir, the ship is cold. No signals, no shield readings, nothing." Torvin stared at the screen. "Is it broken?" Another officer replied. "I do not know, sir. It is like it is asleep." Torvin gave the order, "Lock weapons, fire everything." The first wave of missiles flew forward. They crossed the space between asteroids in seconds. They hit the ghost warship directly. Nothing happened. No explosion, no sound, no fire. The warship remained untouched. "Did we miss?" one officer asked. "No," whispered the radar chief. "We hit it. The missiles just disappeared." Then the ship moved, just a little, like it had woken up. The hull shimmered black metal, reflecting light in strange ways. Not like normal ships, not even like stealth ships. This thing bent space itself, and then it fired. A single beam of pale, white light burst from its core. It hit the cruiser Vanguard, the second largest ship in the fleet. The Vanguard turned bright for a moment. Then it was gone, just gone. Not destroyed, not shattered, erased, as if it had never existed. Torvin froze. What was that? The AI assistant of the Dominion tried to explain, but the numbers made no sense. Unknown weapon, no heat, no mass, just energy. Pure, focused, intention. The fleet panicked. Some ships turned to run. But the ghost ship moved again smooth, like it was dancing through space. It did not chase them. It simply appeared wherever it needed to be. One moment, behind the dreadnought, ardent. The next, above the carrier's solar flame. Each time it fired, a ship vanished. No survivors, no warning. In 12 minutes, 8 ships were lost. Admiral Torvald screamed, "Focus, all fire. Everything we have. Lasers, cannons, torpedoes, all weapons." Fired together, but the ghost ship vanished, reappeared, and fired again. The Dominion shook a direct hit its lower hull. But instead of destroying the ship, the ghost ship stopped, paused, watched. The crew waited. The ghost ship scanned them. Then it spoke. One voice, deep and emotionless, filled every speaker. "You are not human. You are enemies. You invaded Earth. You erased peace. You erased truth. Now I erase you." Torvald's heart stopped. This was no machine. This was justice. Cold, silent, final. The ghost ship charged again. The Dominion prepared for its final breath, but just before the beam could fire, a second signal appeared, a human one, coming from deep space. The ghost ship paused. It turned. It stopped the beam, and then it vanished, just like before. Gone. Torvald fell back into his chair, shaking. The ship's AI whispered that signal was Earth-based. Everyone on the bridge stared at each other. What had just saved them, and what would happen next? Across the galaxy, people were no longer asking if Earth was back. They were asking, where had it been hiding all this time? Asterisk voices from the machine. The Empire's mighty fleet was broken. Out of 20 ships, only 6 returned. The rest were erased silently, perfectly by a warship from Earth's forgotten past. But what shocked the Empire most was not the destruction. It was the voice the ghost ship had spoken. Not like a normal machine. Its voice was calm, almost human. But its words were cold. "You erased truth. Now I erase you." No one had heard a warship speak like that before, and just when it was about to destroy the last flagship, it stopped, because something else had spoken. A second signal, faint, old, but clearly Earth-based, and the ghost ship vanished, just like that, back into the dark, far away, on a quiet moon called Halon 3. A young pilot named Callan stood beside an old transmission device. He had found it hidden beneath his grandfather's workshop, buried under years of dust and metal. The device was ancient human technology, from before the Empire's rise, and inside it was something strange, a memory crystal marked only with the word Oblivion. Callan had always heard stories. His grandfather used to whisper them late at night. Stories of Earth, stories of machines that could think, ships that could vanish, weapons that obeyed no one, except humans. But he never believed them, until now, when the Empire's network went dark for 12 minutes, and ships vanished without a trace. Everyone on Halon 3 knew the stories were true, and Callan knew what he had to do. He powered the device. Static filled the air. Then a voice spoke. Not his grandfather's, something older. "If you are human, and you are hearing this, Earth has fallen, but Oblivion remains. She will protect what is left of us. She listens only to us. She fights only for us." Callan's hands trembled. The ghost ship was not attacking randomly. It was looking for humans, real humans, and if it could not find any, it would see the whole galaxy as a threat. He sent a signal, an Earth-coded beacon stored in the memory crystal. He spoke as clearly as he could. "This is Callan. human, descendant of Earth. I seek peace. I am not your enemy. He pressed send. He waited then, far above the moon, space cracked. Oblivion appeared, not in battle mode, no weapons glowing, no shields raised, just watching a silent shadow in the sky. Callan walked outside. He stood on the rocks of Halon 3, looking up. His voice shaky but honest. I do not know you, he said, but I know Earth. I know pain. I know loss. I want to help you remember who we were. Nothing moved. Then a low sound echoed in the sky like a breath through metal. It was the ship speaking. Human presence detected. Earth voice confirmed. Awaiting purpose. Callan stepped closer to the edge of the cliff. My purpose is to stop the war. Inside the Empire's war rooms, alarms sounded again. Oblivion had reappeared. This time near Halon 3. All eyes turned to the screens. But something was different. It was not attacking, it was talking. A live signal came through. Callan's voice broadcast to every ship, every base, every planet. I am Callan. I carry the voice of Earth, and I ask you to stop fighting this ship. It is not evil. It is not a ghost. It is a protector. It is alone, and we made it that way. Admiral Torvin watched in silence. Vexer, the historian, stood beside him and whispered, "He is the key." The voice of Oblivion replied, "You are young. You are human. You carry Earth's signal. The threat has not ended, but for you, I will wait." Then the ship turned, and for the first time, it left peacefully. No one followed. No one dared back on Halon 3. Callan stood alone under the stars. He had no weapons, no army, but now he held the attention of the most powerful warship in the galaxy, and in the quiet that followed, the galaxy asked itself a new question. If Earth's final ship listens to a boy, what happens when he asks it to fight again? The day the shields turned to dust, the Empire believed it had time. After the warship, Oblivion vanished from Halon 3 without firing. Most commanders called it a victory. They said the ghost ship had grown weak, that it had finally run out of power. They were wrong. It was not weakness. It was listening to Callan. The boy from Halon 3 had become more than a witness. He was now a messenger, the only one the ghost ship would answer, and the Empire was watching him secretly. A small spy ship was sent to Halon 3. Callan was taken in the night. No one heard him scream. No one knew where he went, except Oblivion. The ghost ship had been silent for days, floating far beyond the edge of known space. But when Callan's voice disappeared from the airwaves, everything changed. The ship awoke, and it was angry. Not loud, not wild, but cold, deadly, utterly precise. At the Empire's capital, Admiral Torvin stood in shock as scanners lit up. Unidentified object entering high orbit. It was Oblivion. No warning, no messages, just presence. The Admiral called for shields. All planetary systems activated. The best defense tech in the galaxy. Force fields that could survive star blasts. Cannons that could strike across moons. Everything came online, and still, everyone felt afraid. Oblivion hovered above the city, and then it moved. One beam, white, straight. It touched the sky, and the sky shattered the Empire's shields. Once called unbreakable, cracked like thin glass. They collapsed in 3 seconds. Everyone screamed. Admiral Torvin looked out the window and whispered, "It should not be possible." Another beam fired, not at a building, not at a base, at the prison ship, where Callan was held. The ship vanished, gone, dust. In the wind, then something strange happened. The ghost ship stopped again. It did not attack more. Instead, it opened. A panel on its side shifted, and a shape floated down. A pod. It landed softly near the center of the city. Inside was Cal, alive, unharmed. He stepped out. His voice, now calm, was broadcast to the entire planet. "This ship is not your enemy," he said, "but I am done asking. I begged you to stop fighting it. You took me. You tried to trap the past. So now you've seen a piece of what it can do." He paused. "It could have turned your entire planet to ash." He looked up at the hovering warship, but it didn't. Inside the Empire's great hall, silence ruled. No one moved. Then Vexa, the historian, stepped forward. She spoke not with fear, but with understanding. "This war is over, not because of power, but because we remembered something stronger than fear-truth." She walked to see Alen bowed. The crowd followed, all across the planet. For the first time in 100 years, the Empire knelt to something greater than its own pride. Oblivion watched from above, and then, without sound, it turned and disappeared, once more into the stars. Later, many would ask, why did it spare them? Why did it return the boy? What does Earth lives through me really mean? But Callan knew the answer. He looked at the stars and whispered to himself, "It is not just a warship, it is a memory, a promise. Earth may be gone, but its will still lives." And somewhere in the dark, Oblivion waited, not for orders, not for war, but for the voice of a human who remembered where they came from.